The Learn Drafting Standards command is used to customize the way Splash draws profile panels. To select the command, select Settings, Learn Drafting Standards, and you'll notice the Learn Drafting Standards dialog appears. Now, everything in the dialog is faded because we have not selected a type of profile engineering text. So perhaps we would like to all rim elevations to be placed above the profile panel, so we can touch the rim elevation and move it. It's useful to have AccuDraw active so that you keep the relationship of the horizontal relationship of the text with the object the same, and we're only moving it in the vertical direction. So now you'll notice that all rim elevations have moved up to a new location relative to the object. If we were to change the station of the manhole, the rim elevations would move along horizontally with the manhole. They've only learned a new vertical position. If we now wanted to change the angle, we must reselect the text. So an active piece of text is active, and notice that these have unfaded. Now we'll change the angle to 0 degrees and perhaps make it blue. The elevations and the stations on the profile panel may not be modified or customized with the Learn Drafting Standards tool. You must use the Edit Profile Panel tool, that tool, to affect those elevations and station labels. The Learn Drafting Standards tool only affects text in profile panels. For items such as line weights and line styles, please refer to the Splash Config, Engineering Graphics Defaults file, and Engineering Graphics Defaults for Metrics file. Objects drawn in the profile panels may be further affected by settings levels and settings colors, particularly colors profile. The Learn Drafting Standards tool affects all drawings in the project and all profile panels. To move one individual piece of text and still have the engineering text update itself, use the Label Drag Text in Profile Panel tool. That tool looks very similar to the Learn Standards tool, but it only affects one piece of text. So we might want to take this one piece of text and move it to a more convenient location. And that only affects that particular piece of text on that manhole on this drawing, on this profile panel. For more information on Drag Text in Profile Panel, please refer to Drag Text in Profile Panel, Help Current Command. To completely erase your Learn Standard, select Settings, Clear Drafting Standards. It warns us. We say OK. It says Learn Standard erased, and everything goes back to its default. Now, the next thing we want to do is do an extensive customization of the profile panels to accomplish internationalization, as is done by one of our customers in Australia. So, in order to do internationalization of the profile panels, we'll need to also use the Engineering Graphics Defaults file. Now we're using Engineering Graphics Defaults metric because this is a metric project. So let's see. Okay, internationalization begins at position 74 in the file. So for internationalization, please refer to the manual on suggested settings for internationalization. Now we don't want to drop our English text yet, because once it rearranges the text, we won't know which piece of text it is without the English. We can turn the English off later. So we're going to put in our recommended settings. There's English for vertical design. That's for roads. We'll leave the English for the moment. Now, this is our important table entry. When this table entry is 0 in position 80, when it's 0, we have American profile panels which show the design information inside the panel. If we change this number to a non-zero number, then it will either put all the information in a grid below the profile panel, if it's a negative number, or above the profile panel. So what I'll do is I'll put in a -6, which indicates that we want Splash to form a grid under the profile panel of all design information, and to put it in a grid that is 6 millimeters of paper per position. It really doesn't matter because we're going to drag it anyway with the Learn Drafting Standards tool. For this particular example for our customer in Australia, they do not want the rims, they put a surface elevation and they don't extend the rims, so they don't want to show it on the plan. So we'll say, okay, well, no rims. Okay. Now, we'll save the notepad file and reopen the MicroStation design file. Now we notice there's no text in the profile panel. Where is that text? Well, it's all underneath the panel in the 6 millimeter grid.